Hello once again, race fans, and welcome to another exciting Formula Rock highlight video. It's round number 19 at the Indianapolis road course. It's the first half of our 2 weeks at Indy. Next week we'll be off to, of course, the regular Indianapolis 500. But this week we're doing the road course. It's the first time we've done this in Formula Rock. And we had 13 drivers make the event. One driver, Taz Jr. 8, was having computer problems, couldn't make the event. So 12 drivers will roll off for this race. Your pole sitter, once again, will be number 45, Armalat, who's just a few points out of the point lead. His nemesis in the championship, Mark B, that's the car on the outside there. They qualified both on the front row. They're bringing it down for 50 laps of racing here at the Indianapolis road course, and the green is out for the United States Grand Prix. It says so right there on the sign. What can I tell you? And we are racing for 50 laps, which is probably too many laps. Sorry about that. All right, then. You're looking at Mr. Shift here. We're supposed to be lined up nose to tail. He's a little low on this start. Gets up alongside Randy R3, and he's going to try to move out to get away from that wall. He's going to go right in the side of Randy R3. Oh, but nobody crashes. He's trying to keep away from hitting anybody. Goes underneath the corner here. Ooh, that's not the best start. But anyway, everybody survives. Everything's okay. We keep racing. You're looking at Scuba 1 back on the racetrack. Been gone for a few weeks. Apparently, he moved, and I believe to Maine, but who knows. Anyway, he's out on the racetrack once again, racing side by side with Randy R3. Nobody gets involved in an accident, so we keep racing. You're looking at Prez in the American flag number 9. We have 2 American flag cars on the racetrack again tonight. Prez would be one of them. All right, then Tucson 4. Nice outside pass in the infield left-hander there. Makes a good move, taking over that. Well, we got a car on the grass. Let's take a look. Oh, it's missed his shift. He's going to be carrying just a little too much speed here. Going to slide off into the grass, spin it around. A Scuba 1 as well as in the grass. Wow. Let's take a look at that again. Randy R3 running behind the Scuba 1. The Scuba 1 slides across the grass. Randy R3 dives underneath him, but it's about this time the yellow will come out for the stalled car of Mr. Shift, although I'm not really sure why, since he didn't hit anything. You know, these officials, sometimes they throw a yellow flag for nothing. Sometimes they don't throw it when there's a huge crash. What can you do? All right, Armalat catches up the pace car. We'll cruise around under yellow, and it's about time for the green to come back out for our first restart of this event here at the Indianapolis road course. And looks like the green is out, although it's pretty far away. But anyway, we're racing. Thank you very much. Armalat continues with the lead. Mark B, the 2 drivers fighting for the championship, running right together first and second. We've got cars on the inside. Let's take a look at that again. The orange car up there on the left side of the screen just doesn't go when the green comes out. Not sure what's going on. Everybody else is able to avoid him, so, non-issue. But something happened there to Lance Mofanu. But anyway, back to racing. In third in the number 68 Williams ride, Johnny Kaz, running well in the early stages of this event. Only our second green flag lap. You're looking at number 60 Dixie Dan in the Tennessee Balls ride. Once again, just barely made it into the server before the race started, but he made it. So, there you go. He's got the Scuba 1 and Tucson 4 right behind him as they come through the straightaway in the infield section, the only place where there's any speed in that infield section. Take a look at this again. Dixie Dan coming up to the left-hander, just going to pull off the track. Looks like he's just trying to let everybody go, get out of their way. And for some reason, the sim throws a yellow flag. I don't know why. Or maybe it's Lance Mofanoop here. Lance Mofanoop going by. Going to be carrying just slightly too much speed, get off the grass, and just barely tap the wall. Doesn't really, I don't know, you tell me. But anyway, the yellow flag is out anyway. So we play the yellow flag dance, drive around slowly, and then the green will come back out. Once again, Armalat leading, Mark B second, Johnny Kaz third, MPRL Snake Oil fourth. We're racing once again here at Indy. Randy R3 fighting with Prez, that's DVD and Prez. He's the cream filling in the American flag car sandwich. That didn't sound right. Anyway, DVD's up ahead in one American flag car, and then Prez is back there with the other one. Anyway, NPRL Snake Oil driving for AJ Foyt here, running in 4th spot. Coming through the only quick part of the infield section, you can get up to 4th gear. Everything else is basically 1 and 2 gears, or gears 1 and 2, whatever. Is Scuba 1 running in the top 6 or 7. Hasn't been on the track, as I said, in the Formula Rock race in a few weeks, but he's back out there. Tucson 4 driving for Kodak Max. He's running right behind Scuba 1 as we come back out onto the main Indianapolis track, although headed the wrong way. Never did get used to that, by the way. Maybe some of you did. I never did. Felt weird. But anyway, it was still fun. In second place, Mark B. This is the battle for the championship. Armalat and Mark B. both going after it. It's the two guys with the point lead. You're looking at Lance Mofanoop going to hit a rumble, hit the curbing. Oh, bit of a spin there. Nothing serious. He will continue, which is very good for him. You're looking at our leader, Armalat, in the Z-Max ride, number 45, coming out of the infield section onto the ultra-fast Indianapolis Motor Speedway oval, where you hit about 196, 197 by the end of the straight. DBD starting to struggle with some steering problems, gets up into kitty litter just a bit, saves it. That allows Randy R3 to pull up behind and get into his draft as we get back out on the speedway. From the infield, R3 will dive low, and DBD leaves plenty of room. Randy R3 will pick up that position, moving into the top 5. As we come down the incredibly long front straight, headed the wrong way. And we still are doing that. We're going to switch our view now to Prez, who tries to go to the inside on DBD. Not enough for now. Just taking a look there, seeing what's going on. Prez and DBD. Now we got the American flags running together. Johnny Kaz into Williams running in third place, putting a lot of pressure. We got a little sideways there, putting a lot of pressure on Mark B, though, for that second position. Two drivers running well through the one decent straightaway in the infield section. Very demanding racetrack, by the way, but after you've done it a few laps, get used to it. It's a very fun racetrack. Johnny Kaz carrying too much speed into turn number 1, spins it off the racetrack, just avoids that crash wall. Ooh, nasty, could have been ugly, but he will continue. That will bring out a yellow flag, but he will continue without damage. I don't know what happens here. Somebody explain this to me. We're under a yellow flag. Lance Mofanoop's coming back out onto the main oval, and all of a sudden the car just kicks into gear, goes straight ahead, and wallops the crash wall, and he is done for the night. Now, everybody's pitting. Now, if you look at that screen in the background, it's showing Cup cars. I can clearly tell this is an open-wheel race. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of people make pits and make their pit stops, and while they're pitting, Dixie Dan just in getting service for no reason at all. Our buddies, the Outer Space Aliens, just kidnapped Dixie Dan, probably for a little probing on their, anyway, he's not at the racetrack anymore. So the green comes out. Armalat's still leading. The only guys that didn't pit are the top 3, Armalat, Mark B, and Randy R3, which is interesting because those 3 guys are the ones fighting for the championship. They stay out. Everyone else pits. We're back to racing, heading into turn number 1. Close to, missed a shift, decides to back off, lets everybody go. Very sporting. Missed a shift, no contact there. Everybody continues. You're on board with Tucson 4 in this Codex Max ride, running right behind Johnny Kaz for 5th spot. Well, this is the battle for 5th spot. This is what the infield section looks like if you're on board Tucson 4's ride. Now you know. Alrighty then. DBD, he's starting to have steering wheel problems. He's having things not really go his way. Wow, way off the... That could have been ugly, but he saves it. Starting to have... He's got a Momo wheel. Need I say more? I don't think so. Randy R3 in 3rd spot. Beginning to have mirrors fill up with a whole bunch of fast guys, including a Scuba 1, Prez, bunch of guys back there. Putting the pressure on Randy R3. Missed a shift off into the kitty litter. Is going to lose a bunch of positions here, but does not lose control of the vehicle. Leaves plenty of room for DBD to go by. Very sporting. He will continue on the racetrack. Back to the front straight. Armalat leading. Mark B 2nd. Randy R3 3rd. Scuba 1 4th. Prez 5th. And NPRL Snake Oil 6th with Johnny Kaz right behind him into turn 1 and 2 right there. Good dicing up and down the field. Quite the event, actually. Great racing during this entire event. As we continue on, looking at Johnny Kaz once again, really battling it out with NPRL Snake Oil. He's probably lost a pound of rubber off those tires right there, but he's continuing. Mark B has 2nd place. Whoa, talk about grinding off some tire rubber. Mark B continues in 2nd, 3rd place. Like I said, Randy R3 with a whole bunch of fast guys. Closing up behind the orange car pretty quickly. Pretty much anybody fast is right there. You're looking at Prez. When he's not running our country, the Prez is out here racing. Did I already make that joke? If I did, sorry. Anyway, you're on board Perez's car. You're on the very front nose cone right behind a Scuba 1. This is what coming down the front straight on the Indy road course is all about. You're hitting about 195 miles an hour right about here, and then it's hard braking and dropping down to 2nd or 1st, depending on what gear works for you, into the slow infield section. All right, your leader, number 45. Armalat going through the slowest part of the track. These couple of S-bend first gear corners before heading out this right-hander back to the speedway. DBD, as I said, wheel's been coming apart. He's going to lose a cable right here, loses complete control of the car, slams on the brake, and is trying to get that cable plugged back in. This will be an ongoing nightmare for DBD at this event. But he finally, looks like he's getting it going. That brings out a yellow. I don't know why that brought out a yellow either, but anyway, the top three guys who did not pit before are pitting right now. All right, then, that hands, well, excuse me, Mark B did not pit. He must be on fumes or close to it, but he stays out to pick up those all-important 5 bonus points for leading. So your current point leader, Mark B, stays out, picks up the bonus points. He's got Prez and NPRL Snake Oil behind him. We got quite a group of cars behind him. That looks, oh, I see some kind of, hang on, let's take a look at that. Coming down, looks like Mr. Shift might leave his braking just a tad late. It's going to get, it's hard to tell from this angle exactly what happens, but Tucson 4 is on his head. A couple of cars slide up the access. Let's take a look at that again. From this angle, Mr. Shift might have gotten in the back of Tucson 4, collects Randy R3. Armalat gets spun out. I got to have a better angle than that. Let's say, here we go. The red car behind Tucson 4, that's Mr. Shift. Looks like he's just going to tap Tucson 4. That causes the accident. Randy R3 gets collected and spun, as does Armalat. Randy R3 had no damage, neither did Armalat. But that will be the end of the race for Mr. Shift, who was having steering and control problems. So he's done for the day. All right, after pit stops and yellow flags and all that other stuff, we're back to green flag racing right here, coming down the long front straight as we head once again to the world famous and very slow turn 1. Mark B did not pit yet again, which is pretty impressive on his fuel mileage. Keeping the lead, Perez, big time outside move. Whoa, he reins that one. He almost lost control, but reins it in for second place. A little bit farther back, we've got, if you remember the first start, Scuba 1 and Randy R3 dicing side by side. Well, they're at it again into the infield section, going side by side. Randy R3 is going to get on the grass here in just a second and lose some traction. Or, no, excuse me, almost spin out though. Anyway, drops back a little bit. And for some reason, Tucson 4 has to make a pit stop, but at the same time, the aliens just released Dixie Dan. After he's been gone about 7-8 laps, he will get most of his laps back per Rock Racing and Formula Rock rules. All of them except one. He'll stay a lap down. But anyway, back to racing up front. You're looking at Prez. Woo, carrying a little speed, goes a little wide. He is in second place. The battle for third continues on between NPRL Snake Oil and Johnny Kaz, as it has basically since the start of this race. DBD finally got that steering wheel reconnected. He's back out on the racetrack. Lost a bunch of time, but he is continuing on despite steering problems. Randy R3 sees Armalat coming up, stays wide, lets him go. No sense holding up somebody way faster than you. And they will continue. R3 tucking behind, try to pull up some drafting help or whatever. The Scuba 1 in the P-Max ride. P-Max, I mean, there's a joke there somewhere, but I'm not doing it. I'm just going to sit here and watch the highlights. There you go. Your leader, Mark B's got to be running out of fuel. Hasn't pitted yet in this race. Still continues to lead, but he's got to be seriously concerned about fuel by this point. Your second place driver in the slowest section on the track, the first gear S-bends, Prez, leading a whole gaggle of cars, and if you're wondering what gaggles look like, there they are. So if anyone asks, that's it. DBD loses control with that steering issue again, smacks the wall, and that's going to be the end of, whoa, man, more aliens. And DBD is gone as well. A lot of probing going, oh, forget it. Anyway, a lot of alien abductions going on. Whoa! Armalat hits that inside curving, rolls the car over, doesn't look damaged, but he will lose a couple of positions. Randy R3 goes by. Ow. That'll get your attention, won't it? Anyway, Armalat continues. He's not damaged as far as I can tell, but by this point, Mark B has run out of fuel, and he's going to have to make a green flag pit stop. That could hurt his chances at this event. That hands the lead to number 9, Prez, the other one of 2 American flag cars. He's leading. He's got a mirror full of NPRL Snake Oil, Johnny Kaz, and I believe that's a Scuba 1 in 4th. Yes, it is. Now you know. And you'll notice I haven't called Armalat the wrong car once yet in this video, but I'm sure I will. Here's your leader, Prez. Like I said, American flag car, number 9, leading the race. The Scuba 1 in 4th, little too much speed in the infield section, spins her out. Doesn't connect anything, doesn't get clobbered by anybody, keeps it going. Little damage to his pride, but otherwise he's doing just fine. Back out on the track after an alien abduction. He doesn't seem any worse for wear. Still running. Our friend Dixie Dan in the Tennessee Balls ride. 1 lap down, trying to make that back up as we continue. The battle for the lead. Johnny Kaz, as I've said, has been in third this entire event. Finally finds a way around MPRL Snake Oil, who moves aside and lets him go. Johnny Kaz up to second place. And a little bit before midsection of this event. Right behind Prez, putting the pressure on. Good battle between these 3 guys in the, of course, top 3. Now you know. Couple seconds later, Scuba 1 running 4th, minding his own business, and for no reason. That's right, his motor lets go, and he is out of the race. Motor just, dropped a header. That's what it was. But anyway, he's out of the event. Mechanical failure. Back up front, Prez in the American flag ride. Johnny Cass second, MPRL Snake Oil third coming out. Whoa! The yellow has come out for a Scuba 1's blown motor. Prez and Johnny Kaz were committed to pitting. That hands the lead to NPRL Snake Oil as they come around to take the yellow flag. Little pitting miscue there. Pace cars out on the track. We are under yellow flags once again. All right then. That will pretty much allow everyone to pit. You'll notice the 5th car in line, the orange car, Randy R3. It's about this time as they're getting ready to pit that his Norton virus scanner will put up some kind of dumb pop-up which boots him out of the server to his desktop. And his car will not go into the pits and just sort of drift across. Fortunately, he was going slow, drift across the track and tap the wall. Fortunately, he didn't crash his server connection either, and he will get back into the race here shortly, but he did miss the pits. So he has about 6 laps worth of fuel left, and back into control of the car, back to racing, and he will pick up 5 bonus points for leading, but he's only got about 5.5 laps worth of fuel left. That's not a comfortable feeling. I can tell you, because it's me. All right, then. Getting ready to go green flag racing again. Randy R3, as I said, leading. Has very little fuel left, and he's on old tires. But, you know, what can you do? Green's going to come out right about now, and we are back to racing here at the fine Indianapolis road course. The United States Grand Prix says so right there. We've lost a few cars. This field's getting a little more sparse as we continue on. DBD is gone by this point, as we've said. And Mr. Shift is gone, and a few others. Anyway, back to racing. Randy R3 leading. That's Armalat second place. Prez in third. MPRL Snake Oil in fourth. Good dicing through the infield section between these drivers. Battle for position on the racetrack as we restart and get to moving once again. Johnny Kaz in fourth with MPRL Snake Oil right behind him as we are battling it out on the track. Which is all we do, basically, is battle it out, because otherwise we'd be sitting and watching the thing. Who wants to do that? Side-by-side racing action. This is going to get slightly ugly. Both drivers. It's a drag race coming into the right-hander. Oh, we got contact. It's a pretty good-sized flip for Armalat. He's got a bent rear wing. He's trying to get going. Whoa, almost spins it out on the grass. Keeps it going. Let's take a look at that. On board with Prez now. He's on the inside. Has a good run at him. It's basically side-by-side. Man, you can make your own call on that one. I'm not saying a word. So Randy R3 gets a huge break. Gets to lead a few laps. And the yellow comes out before he runs out of fuel. So he'll pick up the 5 bonus points for leading. Plus he gets to pit under yellow. So, hey, maybe Norton virus scanner was helping him out. I don't know. Anyway, after the yellow flag stint, we are back to green flag racing right about now. And I believe it's Prez with the lead now. If I'm not mistaken, they're so far away, I can't tell. I'm going to go with Prez, though. I don't know, I'm feeling it. What can I tell you? As they come close to us, yes, it is Prez with the lead. Johnny Kaz second, NPRL Snake Oil third. Back to racing on the track. Through the twisty first couple of corners. A little bit farther back, Randy R3 on the brakes, just not soon enough. He's going to tap Mark B in the back. Oh, and it's up and over for Mark B, one of our fighters for the championship points lead. Here we're on board with Randy R3. He's getting by Dixie Dan, gets on the brakes, knows the corner's coming. The car just doesn't wall up quick enough, just taps him. It's enough, though. Sends Mark B over. Error by the number 3 driver. All right, another yellow flag stand. Back to green flag racing again. Perez is on the gas. Johnny Kaz dives to the outside trying to make a pass as MPRL Snake Oil goes to the inside. 3 wide down the front straight. This could be ugly. Everybody wisely backs off and positions themselves. Everybody gets through. Whew, that could have been ugly. But People using their heads. Good driving out there. Armelac gets on the kitty litter. That allows Tucson 4 Randy. Ooh, might have been some contact there. Wow. Oh, he's going to lose it on the grass. Gets across track into Dixie Dam. Let's take a look at that again on board with Randy R3. Following Tucson 4, sees Armelac go up in the sand, dives low, following Tucson through 4. As far as Randy R3 was concerned, there's no contact. But, you know, there was. Make your own call on that one. Dixie Dam minding his own business. Whoa, car. And contact there. I don't think we had a yellow flag on this one, though. As the race continues on, hey, you know what? Who knows what the officials are thinking? Sometimes you get a yellow, you don't want them. Sometimes you want a yellow, you don't get them. What can you do? Prez leading, Johnny Cat second, NPRL Snake Oil through third, coming through the right-hander, which leads you back onto the main Indianapolis oval right here. Nice little jolt right there when you get back up on the oval, too. That's exciting. Perez, a couple laps later, is going to lose it on, hit that curbing and lose it. Big time crash for him, slides across the track. Tucson 4 trying to miss him, gets into him anyway. That's going to be a yellow flag, and that's going to be costly for Perez because he's going to have to make a pit stop, and that won't help his chances. All right, then this is a really long video. We're already at 22.15 seconds. It's 22 minutes, 15 seconds to this point. Johnny Kaz, our new leader, brings us down. We are racing. Johnny Kaz leading for the first time in this event. And I'm getting tired of talking. This is a long video. Anyway, NPRL Snake Oil second, Tucson 4 third at this point. We're looking at Perez once again. Ooh, contact with Mark B. Just some side-to-side contact. Everybody continues. No big deal. Armelat now has gotten by Randy R3. He's up into fourth spot, trying to pull or taking a bead on Tucson 4 in third. Your leaders, though, Tucson. Johnny Kaz in the Williams. There's that jolt getting back onto the speedway. Johnny Kaz leading. We're running out of laps here. All he's got to do is, stay cool, and he'll win this thing. NPRL Snake Oil second, Tucson 4 third, Armelat fourth, Randy R3 fifth. As we are running out of laps here. Tucson 4 is going to go a little wide. He's going to get up on the grass. That's going to hand third place to Tucson 4 while allowing Randy R3 to close up. It's going to be quite the battle here with just a couple of laps left. And then on the last lap itself, Tucson 4 into the gravel. He's trying to keep it going. Randy R3 is going to get right up behind him, and it's a drag race on the final lap to the end. But let's take a look at your top five. Does Randy R3 pull it off? I'm afraid not. He's going to do everything he can, tuck up behind Tucson 4 and hopefully pull a draft, but it's not going to pay off for him. Randy R3 will settle for fifth place here at the Indianapolis Road Course and the American Grand Prix. Holding on to fourth place, went off the track a couple times in the last couple of laps. Doesn't matter. Tucson 4 keeps his foot buried in the gas pedal, and he will bring that Kodak's Max ride home with an outstanding fourth place. Nice work by Tucson 4. Bringing it home third and taking over the points lead for the first time. He held the lead the first half of the season, hasn't had it for quite a while, picking up about 16 points as the new points leader. Number 45, Armelat, taking home third and the points lead. His second place in a row, number 17, NPRL Snake Oil, drove an immaculate race, no contact, no miscues. Almost a perfect event for NPRL Snake Oil. But bagging his very first Formula Rock event win, number 68, Johnny Kaz. One miscue spinning off in turn one. Other than that, a perfect drive. Took the lead when he needed to, held on to it, and Johnny Kaz is the winner of our inaugural race at the Indianapolis Road Course. And, because we care, here's your final race results. All right, folks, this was the first race of the 2 weeks of Indy. Next week, we are doing the Indianapolis 500. All drivers are welcome. Please come out and support our final race of the season, or the season finale. I want to thank you all for coming out and racing, and we'll see you guys all next week for our season finale. Have a good night. Take it easy. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?